I rise to speak to this motion today, and last night I spent a bit of time going through a hard copy of the Rainbow Toolkit, and I am a little perplexed as to why we are here today, President, because I don't believe that the other side has actually read the toolkit. Because what's in there isn't anything that you refer to in this motion. This is quite perplexing to me. The petition requires that the government withdraw the Rainbow Libraries Toolkit rollout from Victorian public libraries. Now again, I find this fascinating as well, because surely as the employer of libraries, they are required to provide guiding materials to allow employees, in this case the librarians, the materials to be able to perform their duties to the best of their ability and to ensure that they are providing a safe environment for people accessing services. And I want to make this comparison. Is this any different to any other public sort of institution? You know, is it any different to a hospital staff member being provided training on culturally safe practices for cold community patients? Well, I would argue it's not. It's no different. The reality is, rainbow families are part of our community, and they're a growing part of our community, and they should be celebrated. And the children of rainbow families should feel safe going into a library, and they should see books that include them. This goes without saying of people who are culturally diverse. They should see books in libraries that represent who they are as well. Yep. Women, we should see books in libraries that are written of our stories. This is the reality of the society that we live in. Now, the Rainbow Toolkit came about because the library staff were surveyed as to what their needs were. And the outcome of that was, and the feedback that was provided, was essentially what's in this toolkit. And also community members and organisations were provided the opportunity to provide advice as well, to encourage information of what made them feel safe and welcomed. But I must also emphasise that this was following the protest of drag storytime events. And it was in response to staff and patrons feeling unsafe. And in particular in the area I represent, in the southeast, we saw events shut down in Casey, Monash. A cafe in Chelsea is no longer there because it decided to host a Easter egg story event, and that got shut down. But I just reflected on some of the media that was reviewing that during that period of time, and it astounds me that it turned into violent threats. It astounds me that several events were forced to be shut down because families and children were threatened with violence and threats. And in particular, this particular event that I'm referring to here in the media was around the Oakley Library and Monash Council, and it was a specific day on the 18th of May, which is Ida Hobbit, and it's an international day against homophobia, biphobia, transphobia. And I just find it astounding that if you're not wanting to take your children along to these events, simply don't. Just simply don't take them. But if families, rainbow families in particular, want to have an opportunity to have a safe space for family to be celebrated, well, they should have that opportunity to celebrate, particularly on a day that is so pivotal to our community. The bottom line of that is that no one should feel unsafe at work, and that was where this feedback came about. Now, just to hurry myself along, the next part of your petition refers to people feeling uncomfortable, insecure and confused by being approached in a library by potentially a librarian who is wearing a pronoun badge, or I'm quite unsure of that. But, you know, I do say in response to that looking at the toolkit, all I could find in there was gender-neutral language like "hi folks" instead of "hi sir" or "hi madam," or I hate being called madam. I don't know about you, Mrs. McArthur, but I'd rather have someone refer to me as "hi folks." And essentially, I just sort of wanted to reiterate that, you know, what is this language actually, who is this hurting? Because it's not really hurting anyone who's going into these libraries and experiencing that. And it's as simple as, wearing a badge or having those conversations around who are you here to see today, not making assumptions of people. But I would think your time would be better spent going into Kmart and demanding that they take bikinis off the shelves for 5-year-olds, because I think that's more indoctrinating
Sorry, Ms. Payne,
than a library toolkit.
time's
Thank you.
expired.